Greetings, Helldivers, and welcome to this report from the Super Earth Equipment Testing Division. The Ministry of Defense has tasked us with creating an equipment combination that functions as an effective team-based solution with an emphasis on crowd control, with this report covering our first attempt at completing this task. Future reports will cover future iterations. The guidelines given to us for this loadout are as follows. Prioritize crowd control over all else. Direct lethality is not a priority. Defensive action is a priority. And heavy armor is required. As such, these reports will be formatted slightly differently, with a greater focus on the EES score for full loadout coherency, rather than the effectiveness of individual items. For this iteration of what we are dubbing Project Riot Diver, we have equipped servo-assisted operatives with the following loadout. SA-32 Dynamo Armor, the PLAS-1 Scorcher, the CQC-30 Stun Baton, and G3 Smoke Grenades. In the way of stratagems, our operators had access to orbital gas strikes, M102 fast recon vehicles, AM-23 EMS mortar sentries, and the SH-51 directional shield. Let us turn now to a statistical analysis from our super intern. Intern, welcome back from cryostasis testing.
So cold. I'm so cold. Yes. Hello, welcome all. We'll be analyzing the PLAS-1 Scorcher, the SH-51 directional shield, and the G3 smoke grenades. These weapons are being tested for the Project Riot Diver, and I was granted permission to use some of these weapons during my own deployments to better understand how these will assist SEAF in the front lines. The PLAS-1 Scorcher is a plasma-based rifle that fires bolts of superheated plasma gas that explodes upon contact. With its AP3 rating and its explosive properties, this weapon is an asset on the front lines. As discussed in previous reports, AP3 means a weapon can penetrate and damage armored enemies with an armor rating of up to 3. Devastators, rocket devastators, striders, and berserkers will have a harder time getting close due to being stunned. This AP rating, along with its splash damage, is a great bonus for crowd control. The splash damage is great for the lighter units, while you can turn your focus afterwards to heavier ones. The Scorcher comes with the ability to switch your fire rates. You can switch between a semi-auto and a full auto mode. And from my experience using this weapon, I would personally go for the semi-auto, as you have a better chance of hitting targets more effectively due to having to just fire independently rather than going full auto. However, doing that would reduce crowd control, so if you're in a support role, I would use full auto to deal with the higher numbers of enemies of liberty. Given all that, some cons that come with the gun are that it comes with a small magazine of only 15 rounds, and you will only have 5 clips during your deployment before you should call a resupply. Another con is, unfortunately, even with its AP rating of 3, the plasma round itself only offers an AP rating of 2, relying on the explosive aspect to boost it to an AP rating of 3. So focus on headshots and weak spots to effectively damage your sworn enemies. The SH-51 directional shield is an experimental stratagem that focuses on deploying a wide energy shield in front of the user. The shield can block high-speed projectiles that are coming towards the user while allowing you to shoot through it. Think of this as a portable shield generator that isn't quite like the backpack version that you can activate when needed. A significant drawback, however, that I found is that it requires you to hold it while you're using it. This means you won't be firing your scorchers while using this, only your sidearms will help you defend yourself. Cedar recommends using sidearms with a high rate of fire to assist you with hordes. I believe this stratagem is a strong choice for this project as it requires someone to be in a support role and stick with it. I haven't used this stratagem on the field personally, but I've seen other divers use this stratagem best by grouping behind the shield and using a stronger support weapon to clear hordes of all three factions of the war. This stratagem offers no AP rating of its own, so I will assume an estimated guess of a protection of up to AP 2 or 3. This will help protect against enemies firing rounds of that rating, but not for very long, so it's best to keep moving whenever you can. The G3 grenade is a non-lethal grenade that deploys a smoke covering that lasts around 30 seconds. During this period, 3 small clouds are deployed, during which they will sometimes form up together to form a giant blind spot. This grenade is effective in giving you a chance to tactically withdraw and change your strategy. Enemies will not see you when in this cloud. Automaton scanners cease to function and create something that looks like confusion. Satisfying. This works to your benefit, as they will have to pursue you through the smoke to find them, opening themselves up to a sweet spread of liberty upon them. This grenade offers an AP rating of 0 and is a non-explosive, so don't throw these into bot fabricators, it's not going to do anything. All in all, this is a fine addition to the Riot Diver loadout, and I would say that Helldivers should at least give it a chance in the battlefield before writing it off. That's all I have prepared, so now I'm gonna go get warm.
Thank you, Super Intern. You may now return to the testing facility.
Oh, lovely.
Our operators expressed pleasant surprise when utilizing this loadout for the first time. Many were apprehensive of the lack of support weapon and the use of smoke grenades going in, but those fears were quickly quelled when they experienced the raw power of the Scorcher for use against all but the heaviest of automaton targets, and how effective smoke can actually be for confusing their targeting mechanisms. These smokes acted as immensely useful cover for overwhelmed Helldivers facing several longer-range targets at once, and combined with the extended throwing range of servo-assisted operatives, these grenades could be deployed with ease wherever needed. That being said, the lack of an effective way to eliminate fabricators proved highly frustrating on a number of occasions, calling the use of the smoke grenade into question. At times, smoke was paired with an operative using an arc thrower to extreme effect. Also of good use in conjunction were the EMS Mortar Sentry and the Orbital Gas Strike. In combination, the mortar was able to keep even the most powerful of foes stunned, while the corrosive gas could eat away at their anti-democratic forms, while teammates worked to conquer objectives or eliminate heavy targets. Our testing revealed that this equipment combination greatly relies on having fellow Helldivers nearby for supporting fire, yielding a lower average kill count than is typical for our operators, with an average of only 100 kills per mission. Many of those kills, however, were against medium units, as the Scorcher proved entirely invaluable against Scout Striders, being able to eliminate the pilot through the main armor plate of the vehicle. Our Helldivers also found themselves operating more carefully and methodically on foot, without an anti-tank weapon of their own, and using their directional shield to form firing lines, and to protect fellow divers, while stunning large groups of berserkers and devastators with their stun baton. The FRV also helped with keeping team coherency together, while providing a mobile mounted gun for destroying armored targets, though overall operators found this less effective than a fully stationary heavy machine gun turret may have been due to the volatile nature of drivers. This portion of the test may have been skewed slightly, however, due to the post-mission discovery by Democracy officers of a stash of empty super booze cans near the Hellpod launching bay on numerous occasions. Surviving Helldivers have been democratically reprimanded for their reckless actions. Overall, surviving operators expressed pleasure regarding the time spent with this loadout, though many said they would have preferred a support weapon over the FRV and possibly an explosive option for removing fabricators. Which alternatives might be preferred while fitting the constraints of this assignment is still pending review at this time. This loadout received an enjoyment score of 8, an effectiveness score of 7, and a synergy score of 8, bringing us to a total EES score of 23 out of 30. While the Division would recommend the use of this loadout to Helldivers, we cannot in good faith say this fits the criteria requested by the Ministry of Defense for Project Riot Diver to its full effectiveness. As previously mentioned, adjustments are pending review at this time, with data being coagulated from several sources, including the communication channel carrying this report. Any viewers who have expressed any suggestions for Project Riot Diver, or who have mentioned concepts for additional projects, have been logged, and your nearest Democracy officer will be speaking with you on the matter shortly. Until next time, dive well, and long live democracy.